We have life-saving drugs, artificial intelligence, and global communication in our pockets. Yet, a 2023 Pew Research poll found that 58% of Americans believe life is worse today than it was 50 years ago. Rents are rising, grocery prices are climbing, and wages have largely stagnated. This economic strain coincides with a historic concentration of capital. Currently, the top 1% of the country owns more wealth than the bottom 93% combined. At the extreme end of this scale, one individual possesses more wealth than 52% of all American households put together. In December 2024, Congress finished negotiating a major appropriations bill. It was designed to expand primary care, dental and mental health services, and youth apprenticeships. The legislation was poised to help millions of people. Then, Elon Musk denounced the deal and promised to fund primary challengers against any lawmaker who backed it. Lawmakers immediately folded, and months of work on the bill vanished. This power to kill legislation with a single post illustrates an oligarchy, a system where a tiny number of ultra-wealthy individuals control a nation's economic, political, and media life. This concentration of wealth provides the leverage to steer the core pillars of American society, ensuring the rules of the economy primarily serve those at the top. And the first of these pillars is economic capture. While grocery store shelves suggest endless variety, the underlying markets are defined by massive corporate consolidation. Just 4 companies control 80%. Today, 6 international corporations control 90% of what Americans read, see, and hear. Billionaires now own the primary distribution platforms. Jeff Bezos owns the Washington Post and Amazon Prime. Mark Zuckerberg's corporate empire controls the flow of information across social media for billions of users. This information control allows for the constant promotion of culture wars and xenophobia, keeping the working class focused on internal divisions rather than economic policy. By monopolizing both the markets where people shop and the information they consume, oligarchs ensure public frustration is directed at scapegoats rather than at the structural concentration of power. And the third pillar is political capture. Since the 2010 Citizens United decision, unlimited campaign spending has allowed the ultra-wealthy to exert direct control over American elections. In 2024, just 100 billionaire families contributed $2.6 billion to political campaigns to install representatives who align with their interests. At the January 2025 inauguration, the 3 wealthiest Americans sat directly behind the president, while 13 other billionaires were nominated to head federal agencies. This chart shows the legislative result of that influence, the July 2025 tax bill, which handed $1 trillion to the top 1%, while cutting funding for Medicaid and education. This wealth transfer was paired with anti-union policies designed to break labor power and move toward the privatization of Social Security. This cycle of political investment creates a legal framework for the mass transfer of wealth from public services directly into private portfolios. This system relies on a sense of powerlessness, yet American history shows that organized movements have repeatedly overcome entrenched economic interests. In 1886 and 1894, workers faced down private security and federal troops to win the 8-hour workday. Abolitionists challenged the entire economic foundation of the Southern ruling class and eventually dismantled the institution of slavery. The civil rights movement endured state violence and surveillance to dismantle the legal structures of segregation. These victories demonstrate that power concedes nothing without a demand, and that mass mobilization can defeat concentrated financial interests. In early 2025, the Fighting Oligarchy Tour signaled a renewed readiness to organize against the billionaire class. Rallies drew 34,000 people in Denver and filled arenas in conservative strongholds like Idaho as people gathered to organize against the current economic structure. Reclaiming the economy requires concrete changes, overturning Citizens United, taxing extreme wealth, and protecting the right of workers to organize through the PRO Act. Policy alone is not enough to change the system. Reclaiming the future depends on mass participation and the leverage created when the working majority refuses to be divided.